Hey y'all, so it is your girl's 54th birthday. I am so thankful and so grateful to be amongst the living. I am excited. I'm happy about life itself. And I just want to say thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I am trying my best to tell everybody thank you. If I don't get around to it, then just don't charge it to my heart, charge it to your girl brain, because I don't mean to exclude anybody. I love you all. Thank you to everybody. My family, I really do appreciate you guys. We had a really good time yesterday, part one. We're about to start on part two today, and it's been fun. It's been real. I really appreciate everybody that's in my life. I appreciate everybody. My entire family, my kids, my mom, my husband, my mom, my kids, my husband, my kids, my mom, however order you want to put it in, my sister, my nieces, nephews, cousins, aunts, uncles. Did I leave anybody out? I don't think so. Thank y'all so much. Did I say sisters? Sisters. I appreciate everybody. Daughter-in-laws. My sons, my daughter. I'm trying not to leave nobody out, y'all. My grandkid. Now, girl, you know I'm tripping. My grandkids. I love my grandkids. Those are my babies. And I appreciate everybody. But just want to say thank you to everybody. Hit your girl up if you want to bless me. I'll give you my Cash App. I'm not putting it out, in the public or whatever. I got Apple Pay, Cash App, however you want to do it. Just hit your girl up, and if not, then say a prayer for your girl. A good prayer. Don't pray bad things. Don't pray some good things for your girl. Y'all see them grades coming in? Hey. It's just another year that God has blessed me, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all. Bye now.
Welcome to Murder Watch TV, where we dig deep into the stories the headlines often miss. I'm your host, and tonight, we're stepping into a case that's as heartbreaking as it is complex. This is the story of Teresa and Christopher Pew, a couple from Garner, North Carolina, whose lives seemed picture-perfect, until a single night in March 2025 shattered everything. Their story raises questions we can't ignore. How do we miss the signs of a tragedy unfolding in plain sight? What happens when success masks silent struggles? And how can we, as a community, do better? Before we dive in, I want to thank you, our incredible subscribers, for being part of this journey. Your support helps us shine a light on stories like this one. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Together, we investigate the overlooked, report the unreported, and ask the questions that linger long after the news vans leave. Let's get started. This case hit me hard. As I researched Teresa's life, watched her YouTube videos, and learned about the family she loved, I kept hoping the ending would change. It didn't. But her story deserves to be told, not just for what happened, but for what it can teach us. So, grab a notebook, pause if you need to, and let's walk through the final days of Teresa and Christopher Pew. We'll explore their lives, their struggles, and the warning signs no one saw until it was too late. Teresa Renee Adams Pew was born on June 29, 1970, in Moore County, North Carolina. A graduate of Fuquay-Varina High School, she later attended Wake Technical Community College, building a career that spanned operations management at ARS and a later role at UPS. But Teresa's true passion wasn't in an office, it was online. Her YouTube channel, Teresa Renee P., was a vibrant showcase of her love for fashion, makeup, and family life. Every week, she posted videos featuring new hairstyles, outfit combinations, and beauty tips for women over 40. Her warmth and authenticity drew thousands of viewers, many of whom left comments like, "You inspire me to embrace my style," or "Thank you for the confidence." Teresa was more than a content creator. She was a grandmother of 14, a devoted member of St. Anna Free Will Baptist Church, where she served as secretary, and the heart of her family. Every Thanksgiving, her home in Spring Creek Estates became a gathering place, filled with laughter, music, and her signature Christmas decorations. Her mother, Marion Shaw, described her as fun-loving, the life of our family party. Teresa's smile, her family said, could light up any room. Christopher Pew, her husband of over 20 years, was equally impressive. A Sanderson High School graduate and former student at Livingstone College, he spent 16 years as a licensed general contractor before founding CB Pug Enterprises LLC. In 2008, he launched the Pew Builders GC Academy in Raleigh, a program designed to teach construction skills to veterans, retirees, and entrepreneurs. His mission was clear: building strong, creating with heart. Christopher's seminars, held across North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina, were free to attend, though his 4-month courses cost thousands. Students like Ricardo Morrell praised his focus on both technical skills and business acumen, calling him a mentor who transformed lives. Together, Teresa and Christopher seemed to embody the American dream. Their social media was a highlight reel of church events, family barbecues, and milestones, like their granddaughter Daniela's acceptance to North Carolina A&T University. Neighbors in Spring Creek Estates were used to seeing cars line the street for their massive parties. To the outside world, they had it all: success, love, purpose. But as we'll see, the brightest smiles can hide the deepest struggles. Have you ever known someone whose life seemed perfect online, but you later learned things weren't as they appeared? Drop a comment below, we'll revisit this later. To understand what happened to the Pews, we need to go back to 2020. Teresa often referenced that year as a turning point, a time when her life was tested in ways I'd never been tested before. She didn't elaborate publicly, but her videos began to hint at challenges. Phrases like, "life has its ups and downs," started appearing more frequently. Always delivered with her signature smile, these comments were easy to overlook. Viewers scrolled past, focusing on her fashion tips or family updates. But those words meant something. Christopher, too, was facing pressures. The construction industry was grappling with rising costs, labor shortages, and market uncertainty. His social media posts about America's housing shortage, 7.3 million units needed, he often wrote, took on a more urgent tone. He proposed solutions, called for action, but there was a frustration in his words that hadn't been there before. Former students noticed changes too. In the months leading up to 2025, Christopher seemed distracted in classes, less patient, his temper shorter. The mentor who once inspired with ease now appeared weighed down. Teresa's YouTube uploads, once a weekly ritual, began to slow. By early 2025, weeks or even months passed between videos. When she did post, her energy felt different. She still talked about spring fashion trends or her favorite quilted jacket, but the spark was fading. Friends later admitted they'd noticed her posts becoming less frequent, her responses to comments shorter. The elaborate fashion shoots gave way to quick selfies. In one video, she mentioned going through a lot right now, before quickly changing the subject. In another, she spoke of anxiety and depression, admitting she'd been battling thoughts of whether it would be better if I wasn't here. She was quick to clarify she wasn't planning to act on those thoughts, but the admission was there, a cry no one fully heard. One of the most haunting moments in Teresa's videos came in December 2024, 3 months before her death. She was driving through Garner, filming a casual update. She mentioned Christopher's health, noting he'd suffered a stroke, the second in recent years. This time, she said, he was taking it slower, prioritizing rest over his usual relentless pace. But there was something else in her tone, a quiet concern. She admitted it was hard to see him so subdued, a man of many, many words, now reduced to few. She spoke of adjusting to his presence at home, their routine shifting as they navigated his recovery. It was a glimpse into a marriage under strain, though she framed it as a temporary adjustment. Christopher's silence wasn't just physical. He stopped appearing in Teresa's videos altogether. The man who once sat beside her, smiling but saying little, was now absent. Teresa filmed alone, her cheerful demeanor masking something heavier. Her family, however, saw no red flags. Her granddaughter Adams Smith later told reporters, "My paw never yelled at us. You can't even say you saw him mad." There were no domestic violence reports, no police visits, no public fights. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office confirmed, their record was clean. But silence can be deceptive. Teresa's cousin, Josette Battlegoings, followed their lives on Facebook, where posts showed a happy couple embracing at events. He adored her, her mother, Marion Shaw, insisted. Whatever Renee wanted, Chris would give it to her. Yet, as we've learned in case after case, what's shared online is curated. The perfect photos, the joyful captions, they show what people want the world to see. Behind closed doors, the Pews were navigating challenges no one fully understood. March 22, 2025, started like any other Saturday in Spring Creek Estates. Neighbors mowed lawns, kids played, and the Pew home at 10, Cheney Drive sat quiet. No raised voices, no slamming doors, just another suburban day. But at 11:43 p.m., everything changed. A 911 dispatcher in Johnston County received a call from the Pew residence. The line connected, then disconnected. No words, just silence. Following protocol, the dispatcher called back. Christopher answered, his voice calm, insisting he hadn't called. But in the background, Teresa's voice was unmistakable, pleading for help. Her words were faint but desperate. Then the line went dead. First responders arrived at 10, Cheney Drive by 11:50 p.m. As they approached, they heard gunshots from inside the house. The situation escalated immediately. The Johnston County Sheriff's tactical team was called in, and a quiet street filled with flashing lights. But there was a problem. North Carolina law required a search warrant to enter the home, even with gunshots reported and a woman's plea on record. For hours, officers waited outside while neighbors watched from their windows, unaware of the tragedy unfolding. At 11 a.m. the next day, nearly 12 hours after the initial call, authorities obtained the warrant. The tactical team entered the home and found what the gunshots had foretold. Teresa Adams Pew and Christopher Pew were dead from gunshot wounds. The Johnston County Sheriff's Office classified it as a murder-suicide. The home that had hosted family gatherings, where Teresa's Christmas decorations once sparkled, was now a crime scene. The couple who'd built a life together for over 20 years was gone. The investigation began immediately. Crime scene investigators processed 10, Cheney Drive, recovering the weapon and searching for answers. They looked for a note, an email, anything to explain why Christopher, a respected mentor, had killed his wife and himself. Nothing was found, no suicide note, no final words. The digital investigation dug into phones, computers, and social media, but no clear motive emerged. Financial records showed no crisis. Christopher's business faced industry challenges but was still operational. There were no massive debts, no affairs, no substance abuse, no mental health treatment records. To the outside world, their marriage was stable, until it wasn't. The family was blindsided. They didn't even know Christopher owned a gun. Total surprise, they repeated. Marion Shaw received the call no parent should ever get. The Adams Smith lost both grandparents in one night. The shock was palpable, the grief raw. Neighbors woke to news vans and crime tape, struggling to reconcile the tragedy with the couple they knew. Social media exploded with disbelief, friends sharing memories of Teresa's laugh, her style, her warmth. But no one had answers. The 911 call became a focal point. Christopher's calm denial, contrasted with Teresa's desperate pleas, raised questions. Why did he claim he hadn't called? What was happening in those final moments? The delay in obtaining the search warrant sparked outrage. Could Teresa have been saved if police had entered sooner? The legal requirement for a warrant, while standard, felt like a failure to the community. These questions linger, with no resolution in sight. As investigators pieced together the Pew's final months, small clues emerged. Teresa's videos had hinted at anxiety and depression, exacerbated by personal and family challenges. She mentioned her mother's hospitalization and her own struggles with pressure, strain, stress. Her doctor, who also treated Christopher, knew of their challenges, prescribing medication to manage her anxiety. But Teresa's admissions were fleeting, buried in videos about fashion and family. She never asked for help directly, just dropped breadcrumbs that went unnoticed. Christopher's struggles were less visible but no less real. His second stroke had slowed him down, forcing him to confront his mortality. Former students noted his distraction, a shift from the confident mentor they'd known. His posts about the housing crisis grew more intense, reflecting the pressure of running a business in a turbulent industry. Yet, to his family, he remained the man who never got mad, who gave Teresa everything she wanted. The truth, as it often is, was more complex. They were good at hiding. 20 years of marriage had taught them to present unity, even when cracks were forming. The Pew case isn't an isolated tragedy. Every week in America, 12 women die in murder-suicides. The pattern is chillingly consistent. A man in crisis, often with access to a firearm, makes a fatal decision for his family. Studies show that firearms increase the lethality of domestic violence by 500%. These aren't crimes of passion, they're crimes of control. Economic stress, health challenges, and untreated mental health issues often play a role, though no single factor explains it all. Teresa's story highlights a broader issue, the signs we miss. Her increasing isolation, Christopher's withdrawal, the subtle shifts in their public personas, these were red flags, clear only in hindsight. Recognizing them in real time requires attention we don't always give. It means asking hard questions when someone says, "I'm fine." It means noticing when posts slow down, when smiles seem forced, when silence replaces chatter. Check the description for resources like the National Domestic Violence Hotline 1-800-799-7233, and the Crisis Text Line, text HOME to 741,741. Save them, share them, use them. You never know who might need them. Teresa Adams Pew's life was more than its ending. On June 29, 2025, her 55th birthday, they gathered at Carolina Biblical Gardens, wearing her favorite colors, playing her music, and dancing with the joy she taught them. Her granddaughter Daniela dedicated her college graduation to both grandparents, carrying forward Teresa's belief in education and excellence. A foundation in Teresa's name is in the works, aimed at supporting women over 50 returning to the workforce. It's a fitting tribute to a woman who reinvented herself time and again, who showed that confidence and style have no age limit. Her sister's Facebook post captured the depth of loss. "I haven't been the same since you left. Not a day goes by that I don't think about you." The family grieves, but they also celebrate. Teresa's smile still lights up spaces, just differently now. The Pew case leaves us with hard truths. Success can mask struggle. Social media shows only what we choose to reveal. 20 years of love doesn't guarantee safety. And silence can be a scream. Preventing tragedy means seeing past the performance, asking direct questions, offering specific help. It means moving beyond politeness to genuine care. Resources exist, and they're in the description. But resources alone aren't enough. Community responsibility means action, reaching out when someone seems off, listening when they hint at pain, believing that everyone, no matter how successful, can need support. Teresa and Christopher's story is a reminder. Every tragedy begins with someone who needed help and didn't get it. Final challenge: who haven't you talked to lately? Who might be hiding behind a smile? Make the call, send the text, ask the question. It's never too late to make a difference, until it is. Thank you for joining us on Murder Watch TV. This case has stayed with me, and I hope it stays with you too. Subscribe for more stories that matter, that teach, that might save lives. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Next time, we'll explore another case where success hid suffering, where silence turned deadly.